Hello everyone and welcome back to Prestige Reef. Today is the second day of Reefapalooza Orlando. I decided to not film on the first day and I wanted to basically experience the show as a hobbyist because that's what I am first. And sometimes when you have to film everything, you don't live in the moment. And obviously I've come a long way, so I wanted to basically experience it the same as any other hobbyist first. So yeah, as I said, this is the second day. Everything's starting to set up. The queue outside is literally mental. It goes all the way around the hotel. I'll show you in a second, and then back into the car park. So I think some people have been queuing here for about 3 hours, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 hours. Is how long some people have been queuing. So this is just before before it opens. Some people are late and early. I'm glad that I got a pass, got my Prestige Reef pass, because I certainly wouldn't want to be queuing for 4 hours. And yeah, so I thought you can see that my voice is cracking because I've been speaking to so many people basically. So and there's quite a few vendors that are the same, where they're pretty exhausted already. But so yeah, let me show you around. Before we get to that, however, I thought I'd give you a rare behind the scenes look at what the hall looked like just a few hours before the public are allowed in. It's literally a hive of activity as the vendors are all frantically trying to construct their booths, acclimate livestock ready to be sold, and set up the display tanks. It really was impressive to see as everyone is working to such a tight deadline, and once 7 PM comes around, everyone was kicked out immediately, whether they were ready or not. I know of at least one vendor whose tank arrived later than expected, which meant they had to set up a holding tank in their hotel room to keep the livestock safe overnight. Something tells me the cleaner had a surprise the next morning. Reefapalooza is the third large aquatic show which I've been to, so I had an idea what to expect. However, everyone says it has a very different vibe to the others. I was spoilt with my first two shows, as they were Interzoo 2018, which I believe is the second largest pet show in the world, and then I had one of the best times of my life in Las Vegas for MACNA 2018. This one definitely has a very different feel to the other two. This one seems to be far more focused on coral vendors, where everyone brings the best livestock they have to offer, which means you're almost guaranteed to see something you've never seen before. Coming from the UK where the hobby isn't anywhere near as big, there was literally hundreds of pieces which I've never seen before. Everything from crazy coloured torch corals, palm-sized bounce mushrooms, some stunningly beautiful anemones, and various other oddities as well. It wasn't just coral either. The fish on offer were just as outstanding, many of which I've also never seen in person before, such as this butterfly fish, angelfish, and one very unique specimen. This all-purple tang, which has a purple tail instead of a yellow one of only 2 known specimens in the world. These weren't the only fish to catch my eye though, as there was plenty of others to see as well, including this big, fat frogfish, which was so stuffed it could barely swim. It wasn't long before I realised why it was so fat, as a few of the juvenile regal tangs appeared to be missing in action. It did seem an odd choice to put them in the same tank together. Now that you've had a little teaser of what's inside, let me take you back to the beginning, starting with the line to get in. Although I've condensed this down to a 20-second clip, it actually took me 3 minutes to walk from start to finish. This show is huge, with thousands of people travelling from all over the country, and in some cases the world, just to be here. So what is the reason everyone wanted to be here so early? The first 500 people into the show get some cool Reefapalooza merch, magazines, discount codes, as well as some samples from various vendors. I tried my best to sneak one for myself, but that first 500 rule was pretty strict. It wasn't until the doors were open did the show really start for me. So much of these shows are about spending time with like-minded fish weirdos, and for me, meeting the people that follow the channel. I know I've mentioned this previously, but as a YouTuber, when I upload a video, all I see is a view number increasing. Events like this make me realise that every number is actually a real person, and it's incredibly humbling to meet so many people that watch the channel. As always, when you guys make me feel famous, I like to make you feel famous by putting you in one of my videos. I wasn't the only YouTuber making the rounds though. I spent most of the show with Mindy from Mindy's Coral Reef. Devon from Reef Dudes regularly popped up. I got to meet the guys from BRS TV, and although I didn't get any footage of them, Rico from Rico's Aquariums and Jake Adams from Reef Builders were also there. One YouTuber who spent most of his time working at the show, rather than filming it, was Mad Hatter's Reef. The reason he was working is because he started his own company called Mystery Reef Box. Anyone that decides to take the plunge and tries to start their own company from doing what they love should be commended, and signing up to his Mystery Reef Box is a great way to support his channel, but also get yourself some cool aquarium products at the same time. Another great part of these shows is meeting the people behind the products you're either currently using or thinking about getting, where they can answer your questions in real time, which might help you make your mind up with regards to your next purchase. This certainly was the case for me when it comes to the Nios Talk Reactor. One of the booths which I was surprised I liked was the one from Reef Weeds. Not because her paintings aren't amazing. I've just never had any interest in artwork before, yet suddenly I find myself wanting to buy a piece. I'm sure many of you will have seen her work on various social media sites. Trust me, no pictures are able to do them justice compared to just how good they look in real life. It was the octopus I liked the most, and maybe one day I'll own a piece. The show is also a great place where you can see new products before they're released, such as Neptune's Trident, which can be used to monitor some of the most important parameters, and it was nice to see Red Sea's full range, along with the finished products for their new LED lights, and skimmers, as the last time I saw them they were still in the prototype stage. Something I did find slightly strange about the show though was the display tanks. As I mentioned previously, Reefapalooza has a reputation for being all about the corals, and don't get me wrong, the sellers didn't disappoint. However, when you compare the display tanks for this show to the previous ones I attended, they just didn't quite live up to this reputation. That is with the exception of one tank. ACI Aquaculture didn't have the largest tank at the show, but they certainly did have the largest single piece of coral in any of the display tanks, and this piece, combined with that rare purple tang, means that this isn't a tank I'm going to be forgetting anytime soon. Getting back to the coral vendors, there is something for everyone here no matter what your addiction is. Plenty of expensive, high-end SPS species, some of the cheaper, more common LPS species, by far the best mushroom collections I've seen in my entire life, and I've developed a new fondness for clams. With all this competition though, the vendors had to find unique ways to stand out, and one company which appeared to be making a killing was Reef Dreams, which had an incredibly clever marketing idea, where you paid $30 to spin the wheel. The lowest prize was $30, and the highest was a very high-end piece of coral, if you land on the blue stripe. This meant you couldn't lose, therefore I couldn't resist giving it a go myself. Come on, Blue!
Oh, but it's 80!
You got an 80? There you go.
Yeah!
As you saw, I won $80, which was pretty good, but my luck was nothing compared to this legend. I'm just intrigued, how many have you won so far?
I've won maybe about 8. I've gotten blue 2 times.
2 times? Bloody hell.
I won a Walt Disney in a bounce.
Come on, let's see Mr. Luck. It's gonna be blue.
Oh my
God. With luck like that, I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes the world's youngest lottery winner. As you heard, he's taking home at least 1 Walt Disney Acropora and a bounce mushroom for $30 each. But what am I taking home from the show? I got myself some high quality bone cutters, which I've been desperate for, and these Hannah checkers for calcium and phosphate. That's it for Reefapalooza. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. Please feel free to comment below if you have any questions. Have a good week and I'll see you next time. As always, I just want to say a massive thank you to the people that support the channel on Patreon. Never underestimate the value of what you do with regards to keeping this channel going. You've all been brilliant. Thank you.